Alright, so now we are going to talk about Close Encounters of the Third Kind, which is directed by Steven Spielberg and written by Steven Spielberg. And the basic story of this movie, it tells the story of Roy Neary, who is an everyday blue-collar worker in Indiana, whose life changes after an encounter with an unidentified flying object, which is basically a UFO. And French scientist Claude Lecombe and his American interpreter, mapmaker, and the other people, they discover Flight 19, which is a conjurer of people who went missing 30 years early, and the planes are intact, but there's no sign of the pilots. And then all this alien stuff starts to happen, and we got our movie. Close Encounters of the Third Kind is a very interesting movie for me to talk about. This is one of my favorite Steven Spielberg movies. I think this is in my top 10. Yeah, it is in my top 10. Such a great movie, great direction, great writing from Steven Spielberg himself. He actually wrote the script to this. And I really do dig it. I dig this movie. This movie is just, wow, something really great. Just the way this movie is shot is really good. This movie only had a $20 million budget, and this movie was nominated to a lot of Academy Awards and a lot of awards. And this movie has been culturally, historically, aesthetically significant. And this movie only cost $20 million to make. And so, $303 million, that's awesome. And there are 3 cuts of this movie. The original cut, which is 2 hours and 15 minutes. The director's cut, which is 2 hours and 17 minutes. And the special edition, which is 2 hours and 12 minutes. I have seen the theatrical version. I haven't seen the other 2 yet. And this movie has left a big legacy behind ever since its release. And the themes in this movie is that humankind has reached the point where it's ready to enter the community of the cosmos. A lot of analogies, Christian analogies, all that stuff. And Close Encounters is more personal themes. And this movie became Columbia Pictures' most successful film of the times. And this movie is slow paced, but it's worth it. And the climax is great. I love the climax. And this is a kid's film, and this film is still groundbreaking. It's still very entertaining. And this movie's legacy, they were going to do a sequel or a prequel, but they didn't do it. And this got 8 Academy Awards, and it took home the cinematography. But all of this movie is just really great, and a lot of stuff is paid homage to this. And this is one of my 100 favorite movies of all time. This is one of my favorite Steven Spielberg movies of all time. Acting in this movie is magnificent. We got a good cast. Richard Dreyfuss, he's awesome. Teri Garr is awesome. Melinda Dillon, Francois Truffaut, Cary Guffey, Lance Henriksen. I almost forgot Lance Henriksen was in this movie when I first saw it. And I was like, it's Lance Henriksen. And the music in this movie is great. John Williams does a great job with the music. The cinematography is nice. There are some really good shots in here. And the same year as Star Wars, wow. 1977 had a pretty big year. And then this was the first collaboration between Michael Kahn and Steven Spielberg, and it's continued for the rest of these movies. Indiana Jones, all that. And And just the movie was supposed to come out as a summer blockbuster, but Star Wars opened that summer instead. And the score is great. I love the music in here. The production design is great, and the visual effects are outstanding. The $3.3 million was the well spent, and all this movie was shot in and the visual effects sequences were really great. And small aliens were played by local girls, and that was pretty cool. So this movie made good money for Columbia, and this movie is still a very classic movie to this day. This is a movie that can never be redone. Hollywood, you can't be better than this. So don't even. My rating for Close Encounters of the Third Kind is going to be my JD Rainbow Seal of approval. So let me know what you guys think of Close Encounters of the Third Kind down below. Do you like it? Do you hate it? And if you like this, you can come here and we can have a good time.